Hey Church, Pastor Luke Rex here from Heritage Baptist Church. Today is Monday for our daily connection, which is MMA, Monday Morning Application. Yesterday we spoke out of Colossians chapter 3. We've been going through the book of Colossians, which is all about us being complete in Christ. We're going through chapter 3, which is where we see that transition of the practical side of living our Christian life really is being fleshed out in those passages. And we dealt with one verse yesterday, verse 15, where it says, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts." When I thought about that this morning, it drew me to the idea of things or people that I have a trust in. Because that is really at the heartbeat of allowing the peace of Christ to rule in our lives. If I don't trust the God that I serve, if I don't trust that God has good intentions in my life for me, it's going to be harder for me to allow the peace of Christ to rule. I'll want to take control. I'll want to do things my way. I'll want to set up parameters or boundaries so that I don't get hurt, or that I don't get disappointed. That's just going to be our natural instinct as human beings to do that. But to be able to step out in faith and just lay our lives down before God and say, I trust in you so much that I will allow the peace of Christ to rule, to have that final word, that final decision in everything that we do. It got me thinking about the things that I trust in. Now, some of you might remember yesterday I mentioned that it was Kelly and I's 17th wedding anniversary. After 17 years, I can tell you that we both still have our faults. We still have days where we're just annoying each other. We still have those stains in our character that both of us wish, man, if you would just change this, our relationship would be better. But yet, even after 17 years, we struggle to change those areas, and it brings then conflict in the relationship. I think every relationship, if we're being honest, deals with things like that. On this side of glory, it's always going to be like that for us because we're naturally sinners and selfish. We naturally want what we want, and we don't always want to be a team player in a relationship. But going back to this idea of trust, I will say in 17 years, I have never doubted the commitment of Kelly to our marriage, to our family, the commitment to the vows that we shared with each other. I sure hope that many of you watching this could say the same thing about your spouse or about somebody in your life, that you can say, I've never doubted their commitment to that relationship. However, I know that some of you that are watching this, maybe that's not your story. Maybe you've been in those relationships where there was constant doubt. There were issues of mistrust in that relationship. And I hope, if that's you, that you don't allow that to define for you who God is. Because if you are a child of Christ, you serve a God who is always faithful to his children in the good times and in the bad times. Always faithful. If you really believe that you can trust in the heart of God, then what Paul told us yesterday in that message, to let the peace of Christ rule our lives, it makes it easier to do that when I can trust in that Christ, in that person who wants to have ownership and rulership of my life, and I can trust their heart that they have nothing but good intentions for us, even through the hard times. So let me encourage you this day and this week to let the peace of Christ rule. Allow it to rule. And then, as we mentioned at the end of the message, see then how in that trust, in that allowing God to be God in our lives and ruler over all things, see how he will continue to build and grow our thankfulness and our gratitude towards him. And I pray that this is a challenge that we all take seriously. That we, as the title of the message, we work on getting dressed up in our new self, and that new self trusts the heart of God. I hope you can say that's true in your life today. If you're struggling with it, would you commit to doing that today? trust in the heart of God. God bless you, and I will see you soon.